Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI welcoming you to a brand new Let's Play. This is going to be Higurashi, which is an anime and manga that I really love and have been following for so long and has finally come to an end. But they've remastered the game on Steam, so it's really cheap and everything. It's only the first chapter out right now. It's going to be released in chapters. I don't know if you'll have to pay per chapter, or I don't know quite how they're going to do it. But it's going to be amazing. Let's check out the config before doing anything else, I think. By the way, it's a horror. This is a blind game for me. I've never played this before, but I've seen sort of screenshots of it, of the old version. This is the redrawn sort of version. Updated character sprites. You can have the original stuff if you really wanted to, I guess. English or Japanese. We're obviously going to go with English. Right-click functionality will show the menu. Oh, that's good to know, actually. Auto hide and sounds. I don't know how good the sound is or not. I'll change that doing editing anyway. So, let's get started. I've been looking forward to this for so long, and it's taken me like a week to actually get started because we've had the other one on the go. Anyway, let's go. It's a completely visual novel, so it's going to be heavy reading for this Let's Play. I'll try and get a bit of myself into it as well. Okay, Frederica Berncastle. She is a character in both Higurashi and Yuminiko, the spiritual successor. And she's always this mysterious person who seems to be overwatching everything. She's sort of your person to listen to, I guess you could say. But she spouts a lot of mysterious stuff, and it normally doesn't come to that much. It's just there for effect, I think. 1983, the early summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. Oh, here it comes, the creepiness. Oh, the anime does this justice, really does. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better, instead of his mind. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Yay, pictures! I was hoping it wouldn't be all black. Only the cry of the cicadas remained annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. I agree with that. If you know someone and they don't care about you, then maybe you shouldn't care about them too much. Then why this pain, my eyes getting moist? Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? By the way, this starts off quite slow, this story. Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? That's a big question. Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then. Calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Such a dark start to It did the same in the anime and manga, but the anime did it best, I think, this whole opening. It was amazing. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi. Yeah, this is going to be amazing, I can tell already. I think it's going to be slower than the other media. If you're looking for a quick way through the story, maybe the other ones would be better, but... Ooh, we can actually click about. Somebody's been apologising for a while now. Well, okay, let's have a look around with the menus and stuff. We got skip. Why would you want to skip through a visual novel? There's not going to be any choices or anything that I've heard of. Auto to go through it automatically so you don't have to click. That might be handy, I can see why people would do that. Log. Ah, okay. Scroll up and down. Menu. Let's have a look what we got here. Config, save and load, high text box. So you can look at the prettiness, I guess. Turn to main menu, quick game. Okay, how do I just escape? Okay, there we go. And quick save. Let's do that. I wonder what she's apologising for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. Only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. I find that strange, see. I live in the countryside myself, and I've always wondered what it'd be like to go from a busy place like a city to living in a country. Would it be boring? That seems to be how it's portrayed for new characters and shows and everything. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads. The melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even any vending machines. Yeah, it sounds very familiar. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Are there any arcades anywhere in the UK anymore? I mean, there might be in holiday places. Even an ice cream parlour would be unlikely. No, I've never seen an ice cream parlour in my life. The nearest town is some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores, and arcades, and ice cream parlours, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I don't think I would either. I mean, I'd try it. I lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlour. I should have gone at least once. Exactly, you gotta try things at least once, so no. Hold on, my ear's itching. No. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologising. I hope some more pictures come along. This is good. The black screen's a bit bland. Who's she apologising to? She's apologised so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologise so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. I like this part. I like this quote. Because I completely agree. I know there are extremes in life, like if someone murders someone you know, would you forgive them then? Probably not, but... you know, in general. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. We'll try and remember you said that. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologising, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. I guess it is, because the person who needs to be forgiven would just go insane if they're not forgiven, if it's not fixable, you know? I understand that reasoning. No matter how much she apologises, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologising in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologising to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologising in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi, we're almost there. And that's our main character's name, Keiichi. Mayabara Keiichi. Wake up! The thing is, in Japanese, they always use a surname as their name, don't they? You know, they say the surname, which is... must be confusing if you're in the house. You wouldn't all say Keiichi, would you? I don't know. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Ooh, something's happening. We're gonna wake up. Oh, that's nice artwork. It's sort of like oil painting-y. Keiichi, almost... Oh, okay. Seemed the train had reached its final stop. We spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. Ah, some really nice artwork in this. I love it. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. I mean, I think I prefer the anime artwork, even if that's not amazing itself. But this is so realistic, and you can see it took a lot of effort, I think. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. There we go. That's the name of the village. Really small, amazing. Higurashi. Every time I think the game is finally getting started, kind of kicking off, it does that sort of intro screen again, where it says the name of the game. It's quite odd. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. Ah, stunning. We're just getting rid of the trees from my back garden now. Literally chopping them down and off they go. The neighbouring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. I have never appreciated oxygen, I don't think. Why would you? You do it all the time. You breathe. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I have never noticed a taste in air. When you're near factories and stuff, you get a scent, but I don't know if that's the same thing. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. In the anime, you never see the parents hardly. I think you see them a little bit in the first episode, which is where we are now in the first episode. In the anime, this arc that we're going through now is 4 episodes long in the anime, so it's not going to be that long, I assume. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Ooh, can you imagine being a painter? Wait, does it mean like a house painter or an artist? Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I think it must be an artist, because if he was painting houses, then people would want him to go around there and do it quick, wouldn't they? I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I'd love a job like that. Just being able to do what you want, where you want. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that though. Same. I'd love a job like that. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled veg, raw egg, and grilled salmon. Oh my god. I want her as a mother. That was bad. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mum never squandered any time or effort, so they're complete opposites in other words. And that's what relationships are supposed to work best like, aren't they? When opposites attract, kind of thing. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. What is miso soup? Is it like noodles in a thin, watery sort of soup? That's the impression I get. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. You little git! Full bowl of rice. Or will half be enough? Pile it on. Oh god. Eat it all. First, I savoured the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. I love sushi in this style. Not so much the stuff with the fish, although I'll eat that, but the stuff with like, you know when you get like egg in the middle, rice on the outside, and then seaweed wrapping it all together. That's what I love. It's a really nice one in Cardiff called Zushi with a Z, if anyone lives anywhere near or wants to try it. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mum gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and really ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mum made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. Oh, that's bad. I mean, I don't have breakfast, but if someone made it for me, I'd try and make a bit of effort to eat it, you know? If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Oh dear. Mindful of the time, Mum rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Okay, Rena is going to be the next main character. She's unique. We'll put it like that. Hurry, hurry. Mum really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Ah, I see. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people. Come to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. Really? But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Gulp, so I'm assuming yeah, it is quite a watery soup. Excuse me. Oh, I love the greens on our house. It's weird, but it's nice. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savoured them a bit more. Morning. Okay. Is this her? Yeah, this is Rena. She's got small boobs. You'd think in a Japanese game they'd be huge. Was that pervy? Keiichi-kun. Good morning. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. There's something, I wish that it would say who was talking. You know, it would have like Keiichi by the side or something like that. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. I would say that. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Oh, Keiichi, a git. You're so cold. I'll wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust. Without looking back. This is so funny because this is the sort of character that Rena is. She's so oversensitive and so naive, she takes everything to heart, you know. And Keiichi will take advantage of that. Because he's the only bloke, he's the only male main character, I think, in the game. Or pretty much, but it doesn't do it in a way where all the girls seem... where it seems like Keiichi is going after each other girls and has all the choice, like in a lot of anime. It's done in a way where, I don't know, the girls just make sense that they're female, and if there was another bloke, I think... I don't know, I just like how it's done. Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun, because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Ah, thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever. Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's not a robot. She's especially weak to this sort of talk, when she's being flirted with. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. I know someone exactly like it, and I used to take the piss out of him. All the time. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I can imagine what would happen if she did read one. This is a strange one, because it's a bit different, but I think if stores around you sold manga, I don't know if I would be too embarrassed to go and buy it there, or if I'd have to buy it online kind of thing. I think it's the same sort of thing as she's feeling. Kind of. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mum. She says thanks for the pickles. Oh yeah, message from... Oh, it was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavour to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Rena? Or was it your mum? Sorry, my throat's a bit groggy. Not groggy, but croaky. Huh? Why'd you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mum? Why are you asking me who made them? Why? That's her thing, she likes to repeat things a lot. Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. The amount of salt? Could you really remember that? It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. You git. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. You are the worst, Keiichi. Though not really. He makes fun of people, but he's such a nice person as well. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. Playing with her heart. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. She's the sort of person who would be. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Also, I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mom waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Mion. I mucked that up. Mion is another main character. She is like a tomboy character. And she's amazing for it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we can make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I hope I pronounced that right. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realise it's not just her name that's strange. The artwork is so much better in this version. I've seen screenshots of the old version of the game, the game that came before the anime, the manga, and their hands are like sort of Bomberman hands, but with fingers. They're really weird. And apparently they're on this game as well if you wanted to have a look. Mi-chan, good morning. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Here she is, this is Mion. She looks pretty similar to the anime, yeah. Finally, you two are late. Usually, you're the ones who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. Yeah, tomboy. Very individualistic, very brash. She won't think before she talks, basically. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior leader and head of the class. Morning, Rena. It's been a while, Kai-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. She's taking the mick. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest, then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Oh my god, here she goes. Get ready for it. Oh. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cute back then. Oh my god, this is so much worse. So much worse than the other media. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I should hope not. How old are they? I've gone quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little moustache now. Oh my god, that's just disturbing. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time, right now is just fine. Oh my god, this is way past flirting. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. That's pretty disgusting to be fair. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Really? Every old man I've ever known has been quite reserved. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Oh, don't get it out. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic. Oh, Venom on it. Look at her. Hey. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, she repeats herself. That's what she does. Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it? Seeing the city again. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral, I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? Yeah, not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. Yeah. Tut. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know? It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Okay, so Mion loves her games, her toys, her board games and stuff like that, which is what she apparently wanted Keiichi to go to. So it's about games again, Mei-chan. Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. I mean, they're all into their games, but Mion seems to be the one who likes them the most. Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalogue, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Oh, okay, I thought it was a name of a shop then. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You wouldn't think she's a geek though by looking at her. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm gonna get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Yeah, of course. If Kei-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Wow. Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. How sexist! Mean, too. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. He has actually, he's got quite close with them apparently, isn't he? I mean, he was going to show his spirit. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. That's amazing. I had a mate when I transferred over here to, you know, people really do make you feel at home when you go to a school. Hopefully, for the most part. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Oh hey. Oh, is this a school? It looks a bit different from everything else, you know. Oh, it's all wooden, that's what I remember before. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. Oh, I can familiarise with this. I went to a school that was a nursery, an infant school, and a junior school all in one. So there were like 3 classes and a nursery class. Sorry if you can see that in the corner. 3 classes and a nursery class. And it all added up to about 100 students. It was amazing. I loved how quiet it was. And it was up on the top of a mountain. And whenever it snowed, we'd have to walk to the bottom of the mountain and get a bus there because the bus couldn't go up such a steep hill on the ice. They could barely get up there normally. I loved it in that school so much. It's been knocked down now. It was really sad when that happened. Let's go. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels and they all study in the same class. Yeah, we had like 2 years worth of students in each class in ours. So, and that would come to about 30 in each, somewhere around there. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it's stayed that way out of tradition. You know, I would have loved to be in a school where everyone was in one class. Surely then, everyone gets to learn the best stuff, becomes the most intelligent they can be if they're learning everything at the same level and not being split into younger age groups, because the younger age groups would learn the best stuff from the older ones, wouldn't they? I don't think they'd dumb it down for the older ones. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. No, school and work and everything should be as fun as possible. Nothing should be serious, otherwise it gets boring. And depressing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. I was going to fall for that again. It is suspicious, Keiichi, you're right. To think you'd give up the lead here. By the way, you do... If I'm going by anime and the manga standards, you do actually see Keiichi. I'm assuming that in the other episodes you'll see Keiichi, even if you don't in this one. To think you'd give up the lead. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, you guys? This is quite nice music, actually. Quite like it. Step back, Renner. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Satoko-chan is... Okay, Satoko is another big character. She's another sort of tomboyish character. She's very tricksy. She's rebellious. She's malevolent. That's what she is. Her name is Satoko Hujo. I hope I didn't mess that up either. Hujo? Hujo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. I couldn't put it any better. She seems like, you know, that spoiled brat that you see? She seems like that, but she's not quite like that. She is quite nice as well. They all are. All the main cast of them are quite nice. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. Have you ever seen someone and thought, I'm not going to talk to them because they're too annoying? I've seen quite a lot of people who've done that, and I don't like it. You should at least give people a chance. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap, a blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Satoko. A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Keiichi-chan. I guess that means you win this round? No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. Rube Goldberg, are those, is that like a sort of system where one thing affects another? Is it like one of those toy things where, say, dominoes fall over, they hit a ball that goes down a chute, that hits a boot, that hits something else that falls down? Sort of like Mousetrap if you play that board game. Is that what Rube Goldberg is? I'm not sure. I love those though. I love them so much. I used to love watching them when I was little. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. What? I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. What? Was she trying to kill him or what? Wow. So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward, so as I lifted my hand to the door... Your thumbtack stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. That is quite frightening. Can you imagine stabbing yourself with them? A potent and terrifying trap. She's a creepy little kid. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. Oh god. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realised she had me, hook, line and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Keiichi-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in mid-air before I landed on the floor. Ooh, nice artwork for the classroom too. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. What's an inkstone? Is it literally a stone with ink? I don't know, why would it need an inkstone? I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. There she is, this Satoko. She looks so innocently. My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Aren't we lively this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. Look at her, she looks all... criminal and cat-like. Sneaky, that's the word. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow, ow, ow. It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. That's true. I don't know what an inkstone is, but it can't be good. Oh, here's another main character. I mean, they're all main characters. It's hard to say which one is the main character. If you play Final Fantasy VI, you'll know the sort of vibe I'm getting at. They're all quite mainy. A small hand gently rubbed my head. They all have their own sort of arcs in this... well, in this series. Pain, pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head, and this character, Rika, is the one character who's most innocent out of them all, I'd say. Rena is as well, but I think she's so young and everything as well. She's, you know, she's a nice character. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. That's true. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. I completely agree with that. Even if you're not like a medical expert, the more you can do to help someone, even if it doesn't really affect much, it'll make them happier, and that'll make them feel a bit better, even if it doesn't get rid of the pain. Yeah, thanks Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. Yay, Rika-chan. Good morning. Good morning to you, Rena. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. She's so funny. I'm the very model of a good girl. Of course you are, Satoko. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? Oh, ah! I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar and chucked her off a cliff. Or something like that. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. I think cats really hate being picked up by the scruff of the neck. It sort of paralyses them, doesn't it? But, you know, a cat wouldn't be setting traps. I don't know, see. I had this cat during uni because we saved it from some other people who wasn't looking after it properly. And it would just go to the top of our stairs and jump on people's heads when they were going up the stairs. I think that's the sort of trap. I think cats can do traps. They trap mice as well. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. If you want to say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. Oh, don't flicker. I'm against violence. Of course you are, Satoko. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Eek. Stop! Get away from me, you beast. Look, they're trying to act all innocent and, you know. Don't say that in a way people might will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika and Satoko have this big thing where they're the same age and they get along really well, so Rika always protects Satoko even though Satoko's a little bitch. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Oh, it's quite sad that she was crying. She doesn't want the punishment to come with the traps, does she? It doesn't bother me. No, we can see that. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah! Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess these two were the same age. Yeah, Rika is so much more mature. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Rika! Wait a minute. Yeah, Rika's not completely innocent herself. Nobody is, and I think that's the point they're getting at. As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Here we go, this is Rena's cute face. Get ready for her little gimmick. Oh, Satoko-chan is crying. So cute. You can't take them home. She knew. Who? But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit, it's fine, it's fine. Rena kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things, and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. They can just look. Just looking. You can see Rena's, you know, when she gets married, and she's like the husband, actually, where he says, I'm just looking at her, you know, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's the sort of person Rena's gonna be. That should be fine, right? Right? Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to return Renner into the authorities. Ah, forgive me, Renner. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Get rid of the traps. That inkstone is yours, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtack stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I can imagine if the teacher got stuck instead, struck by it all. That reminds me of The Simpsons when Marge becomes a teacher, actually. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. They didn't have a choice, did they? By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. You know what, I think we'll cut things off there, just because it's going to go on for a bit long, I think, otherwise. I would like to make the episode shorter as well as we go along. I just wanted this one to be the opening, you know, have a lot going on. Anyway, this has been GreenyXI. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to know what I could do better or worse, because I've never done this genre before. I've never tried a visual novel before, and I'm not trying to put on accents or voices because I can't do them, but just give me a shout if there's anything I can do better or worse. So, thanks for watching. See you in a bit, folks.